right, we are here in my tiny traveling worm bin. And the last time we were in here, we talked about the different ways that I harvest my worm bins. And in this one, we are doing the horizontal migration. And we have a kind of casting zone, and we're trying to get the worms to migrate over this way. And then we have a feeding zone that we put lots of food scraps and some damp shredded cardboard to try and lure the worms over here. So we also left any kind of plastic off this side and kept it over here to try and dry things out, and it's doing a pretty good job of that. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe take off this top layer right here that has some bedding and some slow foods in it, and we'll go ahead and save that to put over here. So I'll just set that over there, and we'll just kind of put the stuff right in there for use later. And I also want to dig down a little bit to see how many worms are in this zone right here and see if maybe we can harvest some of these castings, because the idea for me is to slowly harvest these castings and then continue to move this over here until I just have a really small portion that has castings. And on that last time I harvest out, I've got a new worm bin that's already getting going with food scraps and that kind of thing. So I think this is about all we're going to do right now, and we'll put those in later. So let's go ahead and dig down and see how moist it is down here and see if we're finding worms. And sure enough, we do have some worms there. Seeing 3 already. Let me keep digging a little deeper. I'm definitely feeling it more moist down below, and I am seeing quite a few worms. So after about 2.5 weeks, we haven't migrated everybody, and that would be a pretty good miracle if we did. I think this will probably take 2 or 3 feedings in order to get them all over there. And like I said, it was 2.5 weeks. I think if I go a little bit shorter intervals, we might catch them all over here at once, because if they've eaten all this food here, then they're going to come back over to here to see what's going on, seeing if there's other food here. So things are looking pretty good. It is getting more moist. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to mix everything up so I can kind of aerate it and try and help it lose some more of its moisture.
Do you think there are some in the feeding zone?
I hope so.
Well, now I'm interested to see what the feeding zone looks like.
Yeah. All right. The executive producer is pretty excited to see what the feeding zone looks like, because she felt like there were a lot of worms in here, and perhaps we need to be checking in here more often, probably every 7 to 10 days. And I've just been taking out a couple of these bigger pieces. This is an avocado shell right here. All right. So let's go ahead and get over to this side real quick. I'm just going to kind of push this over a little bit, and let's see how the feeding zone is doing. All right, you can definitely see that there's a lot of moisture in here, and we are going to continue to put damp shredded cardboard in here. And let's go ahead and take this soiled paper towel out, but I'll put it back in. We're already seeing some worms in here, which is great. Let's go ahead and just kind of push things to the side, and oh yeah, I'm seeing some great worms. We did put in a really big feeding in here for this tiny worm bin. We started this migration feeding zone by re-adding all the dry shredded cardboard and slow food items I picked out of the bin, and we put down a layer of damp shredded cardboard along with a soiled paper towel. Next, we added some celery stalks, an apple core, a bunch of spinach leaves, some cherry tomatoes that I squished, as well as some strawberry tops and a banana peel. Then we added our amendments of worm chow, coffee grounds, and eggshell grit. Finally, we topped it off with more damp shredded cardboard, another soiled paper towel, and then we put that bubble wrap that you saw to keep the moisture in. And it did a pretty good job, because all of this still feels moist. And let's go ahead and just kind of pull from here and dig up and see what we've got. Oh yeah, we've got some great worms right there. Lots of good ones down here in this corner, which is great. Oh yeah, it looks like they did pretty good on all the food scraps. This is one of those small tomatoes that I put in there. I think they've gotten to all the food. That is great. Good stuff. So they're already starting to turn things into castings, and this is some of the remnants that we had. I'm going to go ahead and take that out. It's just a sticker from, yeah, the remnants from, when we started this migration feeding zone, the stuff that was on the top. And yep, again, another tomato skin. They'll eventually eat that, but they seem to go inside and eat all the flesh around it. Let's dig from right here and see what we've got. Looking good. Lots of worms in this zone. So I think in order to get all of them over here and to keep them there, we really should get in here more often. So I'm going to shoot for, like I said, 7 to 10 days. This right here looks like I don't know, top of a pepper or something like that. So things are good. It's definitely bulking up. Let me go ahead and see if I can kind of push things over and really give them another good feeding.
That's so good. They're fat.
Yeah, the executive producer's excited over here. She says it's so good and that they're fat. Everybody likes a fat worm, so just like our boys when they were babies, she liked our boys fat when they were babies. So things are looking good there. Perfect. I'm just gonna kind of make a little hole right there, just like that. So first in we go with all the stuff that we picked out earlier. Just kind of spread that around. Yeah, this I'm just going to take out. That's a peach seed. I've had those in my outdoor worm bin, and their demise is measured in years, not months or days. So let's put down some more damp shredded cardboard right there. Go in with a little bit more because we want this side to be really moist compared to this side. So we'll go in with some fast food like this lettuce stalk right here, along with a little bit slower food, a tomato top. We'll put some apple cores that tend to take a little bit longer. And then we'll go in with some strawberries, which is one of my more favorite foods to feed them because I love how quickly they eat that red flesh. Here's another good leafy strawberry top. And then we'll put in some spinach mush just like that. So next we're going to go in here with some worm chow. And this bin itself is about 3 gallons, and based on how much I fill it, it's probably only about a gallon, but it has 1,000 worms. We've actually counted out this bin several times, and each time we counted out, it was somewhere around 1,100 or, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100. So the carrying capacity, or the capacity that the worms will kind of fill their population to and kind of maintain, is 1,000 worms. So I wonder if that's a good metric for you. 1,000 worms per gallon of substrate within your worm bins. So that was some coffee grounds, another food source for them, and then we'll put some eggshell grit, which helps them grind up the food within their gizzards, and it's one of the first things that they come over and eat when I do my different time lapses. You can actually see them go for the eggshell grit first. All right, and now we are going to fill this up pretty good with lots of damp shredded cardboard because I do want to make sure that I cover up that feeding real well, and we're kind of doing 2 things here. We are trying to separate the castings so that we can take them out, and we're also trying to build a worm bin all at the same time. And check that out right there. It looks like a staple went through the shredder. I'll go ahead and take that out. It looks like it made a mess on the side here, so I'm going to use this opportunity to get some of that worm chow out. And let's spread this around just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover this up as well. I've got my soiled napkin that we had in here last time. We'll arrange that perfectly like that.
Oh, there was a worm in there.
Oh, we got a little worm that hitchhiked out of the bin for a minute. And I've got this one as well that I've been using to clean my glove in between feeding and doing all the things that I've been doing. So that'll go on here just like that. So we'll go in with this plastic bubble wrap, and that's going to help recirculate the moisture on this side. And over here, we're just going to kind of spread out the castings a little bit because we want a big surface area to try and get the moisture out of here. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a like. And if you want to see how I start a worm bin and how much I feed it at first, check out this video right here. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope your worm bins are doing fantastic. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.